Greetings of the day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jaswant Singh, Consul for OCI at the Consul General of India, San Francisco. I would like to thank Dr. T.V. Nagendra Prasad, Consul General, San Francisco, for his kind support and guidance in making an informative walkthrough video. This video will help our Indian diaspora in process of registering for OCI services. So let's get started.
Hello friends. To start the OCI registration process, you need to open up your internet browser and in the address bar type in www.cgisf.gov.in and hit the enter button. It will take you to this page. Let's close this pop-up. Now friends, this is the Consulate General of India San Francisco's website. Here we click on Consular Services, get into OCI cards, and then click on how to apply for OCI, which brings us to this page. Now friends, please remember that all OCI applications are processed only through VFS Global Services. There is a link here which we will explore shortly. And this is the VFS Center San Francisco address with the 1-800 number should you have any queries in the future. Now let's click on this link. So it brings us to this page which says eligibility for registration as OCI cardholder and the checklist below. Now friends, VFS has also introduced a chat box called Viva for your assistance should you wish to use. But for the moment we will close this box. We'll scroll down till we see these two important links. One is apply by mail/post option and the second option is apply by appointment. Now both these processes are fairly similar in nature. The only difference between the two is, let's say if you choose to apply by appointment, then in that case you will have to visit the VFS Center in person with all the necessary documents. But for the sake of this video, we will explore the apply by mail/post option. Then we have the step-by-step guide which has 3 steps in particular. The first step has this very link here called click here. Once we click on this link, it will take us to the government's website where we will fill the OCI application form, and we will do that in a minute. And there is a small link here which is the paid VFS assistance should you wish to use. But friends, I can guarantee you that if you follow this video thoroughly, then you will not need any external help. Then there is step 2, which says click here to know the supporting forms and arrange documents as per the checklist should you wish to use. And step 3, which has a link here, if we click on this link, it will take us to the VFS Global's login page. We will explore this link once we complete the application form. And here are all the VFS centers addresses across the United States. So let's begin by clicking on step 1, this particular link. Let's click on this and let's start with the OCI application form. It takes us to ociservices.gov.in. We close this box. We'll close this pop-up as well. And here we will click on OCI registration. There is a small link here which says click here. So click on it. And it brings us to this page. Now there are multiple links on the left, but today we are going to concentrate on new OCI registration. There are some instructions here which you may want to go through and then click on the proceed button. Now this is the instructions for filling application forms page. We highly recommend each one of you to go through this page thoroughly in order to seamlessly process the application. Now once you do that, you may want to scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on I have read the instructions and click on the accept button. Then we'll key in the alphanumeric characters as requested. And click on the enter button. Here we have 2 options, fill new application and complete partially filled application. In our case, we will click on fill new application. Which brings us to the OCI registration forms page. Now there is a temporary application ID which is generated. You may want to keep this handy should you wish to come back to the application at a later stage. Then you start filling in all the important information such as place of submission, the mission, applicant's information, which are your personal details, applicant's passport details. Now friends, this passport number here is your US or foreign passport only. Then you will key in your family details here. Then comes your spouse's details. Now it says here, are you applying OCI on the basis of Indian spouse/spouse's OCI card? Choose your appropriate response. For the sake of this video, we have chosen no. And we have keyed in the spouse's details. Now after the marriage registration, this section in particular is optional and it is left to your discretion. Then comes the relation with the root Indian. There are multiple options here, such as father, mother, so on and so forth. Now the self option should be only chosen in the event wherein you have accepted foreign citizenship through naturalization. We'll select self here. I've got three options: exit, save and exit, and save and continue. Now for the sake of this video, we'll click on save and continue. Which brings us to the OCI registration form, page 2. Now here you have to key in your occupation details. Then you'll have to key in your address details along with your email address and then click on the next button. Which brings us to the verify information section. Now friends, please go through all the information that you had keyed in thoroughly, and once you have satisfied, then you can click on the submit button. If you want to make any changes, please click on the modify button. So we'll click on the submit button. Now this is the OCI image upload section, but before we proceed, you must make a note of your file reference number for all your future correspondences. And you will have to go through all the set of instructions to seamlessly upload your images, such as the image should be either in JPEG or JPG format. The size should not exceed more than 500 KB. Now the applicant's photo image should be 1:1 in aspect ratio, which means it should be square in nature. And the applicant's signature image should be 1:3 in aspect ratio. In other words, it should be rectangular in nature. You also have a link which says view photo specifications. You may want to go through this to have a better understanding. Once you're ready, you then can click on yes, I am ready with the image, or you have the option to exit now. So we will click on yes, I am ready with the image. So we are in the upload page, which has two sections. One is the applicant's photo section and the other one is the signature section. So let's begin with the photo section by clicking on choose file. We choose a file. And friends, you can see here there is an error message in red which says, the aspect ratio is incorrect. And in order to rectify that, we'll click on crop. And then we have the rectangle here, which we can move over the face. So we'll just adjust it. And voila, there is success. As you can see now, it says crop section is fine. And we'll do the same thing with the signature section as well. So we'll click on choose file. Choose the signature photo. Again, there is an error message, as you can see. So we'll click on crop. We'll make sure that this rectangle is there right in the center of the signature. And voila, success again. It says crop section, or the crop selection is fine. And now we can click on the upload button. Now once we have successfully uploaded the images, we come to this page where we see both the images together with two options. One, I want to upload the images again, and two, I have uploaded successfully. So we'll click on this particular link here to proceed forward. And now we come to the OCI registration confirmation page, which has the applicant's name and the file reference number once again. And there is the list of documents here that you will go through, and also the Indian origin document. And once you have done that, we will then click on the proceed button. And now we move on to the OCI registration part B section, which starts with citizenship details in the form of a questionnaire, where you will have to answer yes or no to all the questions. For the sake of this video, we have answered no to all the questions. We move on to the next section, which says present nationality details. We'll choose the acquisition method. You've got multiple choices here: by birth, descent, so on and so forth. We have chosen naturalization, and we have given a date here. Now, if you did hold any nationality in the past, please give the details here in this section. Do you have any relatives in India? We've chosen yes and given the details. You may want to add a member, or you can even delete a member. And finally, has any of the applicants faced criminal proceedings? Click appropriately. We have chosen no, and then we click on the submit button. Now we now come to this page which says that you have successfully completed both Part A and Part B online OCI registration for the following applicant. Now we are requested to upload the appropriate documents. So in order to do so, we will click on the Upload Documents button. And now we move on to the online OCI document upload section, where we see a drop-down list of all documents that are there to be uploaded. Now, for the sake of this video, we will only choose one document that we will upload, which is the current passport. And then we will click on the upload button. Now here there are two important key points. Number one being that the size of the file should not exceed more than 1000 KB, and that the file should be only in PDF format. Then we click on choose file, select the appropriate document, and click on the upload button. So now we come to this page where we can see the document that we just uploaded, the current passport. It shows that now it's been uploaded, and you have the option to either re-upload it or view the document. Now friends, once again, please remember that for the sake of this video, we have just uploaded one document, that is the current passport. But when you apply, please make sure to select all applicable documents pertaining to your case and click on the upload button. And once you do that, then you can click on the final submit button. So let's click on this final submit button, which brings us to generate registration form link. Now once we click on this link, the form will be automatically downloaded and it will be saved in the download folder of your computer. So let's click on this link, and there you can see on the bottom left hand side the form has been downloaded. So let's click on this link here, which will open the document. So this is the downloaded application form that needs to be printed before you visit the VFS center in person or send the documents via mail. Now this form also has the reference number that we had noted earlier. So once you go through the form, we will now go to the VFS webpage to explore the VFS appointment link, which we had discussed earlier in this video. So we are back on this page which we had visited earlier, and if you remember, I told you that there is a step-by-step guide wherein this particular link at step 3 will take us to the VFS global homepage where we can log in or register as new users. So let's quickly click on this link, and once we click on this link, it brings us to the VFS page where it says new user registration. Now new users can register here, and existing users can click on this link that says back to login. Now since we are registered users, let's click on this link. It brings us to the login page. Let's quickly key in the characters as shown in the box and click on the continue button. It brings us to this page with 4 options on the left: create new application, email confirmation letter, retrieve incomplete application, and download courier labels. For the sake of this video, we'll start off with create new application, which brings us to the select center page. The first 2 fields are auto-populated, as you can see, and we will choose the center from this drop-down list. I'll choose our main category. There are multiple options. In our case, we are choosing OCI. And the application category on the drop-down list, there are multiple options. We'll choose new OCI. And as you can see here, the application type is pre-selected as postal. Then you will choose the preferred payment option. and click on the continue button. And then we come to this page where we have the option of clicking on add customer. And once we do that, we are in the application page. Now the first field here is the OCI government reference number, as the same alphanumeric 12-digit alphanumeric reference number that I spoke about. So let's quickly key in, and we move on to the passport number and the date of birth. We move on to the passport expiration date. And you can see that the first name and the last name is auto-populated as per the registration. We'll select the gender, father's full name as it appears on the passport. You'll have to key in your mobile number here, your email address, and finally you'll have to choose the state. Now there is an information box that pops up. Please make sure to go through this info thoroughly and then click on the OK button. And finally we'll click on the submit button. It's asking for us to confirm once again, so let's click on OK. Which now brings us to this page where we'll have to select the career service. Now friends, as you can see on the right hand side, there is this actions tab where you can either edit or delete the applicant. So we'll move on to select career service. So we have two options here, VFS offered, and I will use my own career label. Now for the sake of this video, let's choose VFS offered career service. And FedEx is auto-populated. There's only one option here. And we'll click on the continue button, which then brings us to this page where we can see the amount that you'll have to pay. In this case, it's $346.62. You can also click on the fee charge to see what you have been charged for. And also there is the additional services link here. Now, once you have seen all this, then click on the continue button. Once again, it's asking us for the confirmation. Let's click on OK. So now we're in the customer mailing addresses section where the applicant has to key in his or her postal address. For the sake of this video, we have already keyed in an address. And once you have done that, you will have to click on the validate button. So let's click on the validate button. And only once the address is validated, you will have then the opportunity to click on the submit button. So let's click on the submit button. It's asking us for a confirmation. Let's click on OK. And finally, it brings us to the application summary page where you see the amount that you have to pay, the customer's mailing address, and also it has the 12-digit alphanumeric reference number that we had recorded earlier. Finally, you will check the box that says I accept the terms and condition and then click on the confirm application button. It's asking us for confirmation once again, so let's click on OK. Which then brings us to the ADN payment page. This is the payment gateway where you will be able to make your payment. Now once the payment is processed successfully, you will be able to then download the career labels, post which you will have to send all the required documents via mail to the VFS center. So friends, that completes the entire process. I hope you enjoyed this informative video and I thank you for watching it. Please stay safe and stay healthy. Jai Hind.